friends, and welcome to my study channel Happy Learning. In my last video, we have learned about chapter 2 fractions and decimals, and we have learned about fractions. In this video, we will learn about decimals. First of all, introduction to decimals, then how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals, and how to represent fraction as decimals. Like fractional notation, decimal notation is used to denote a part of a whole. Numbers written in decimal notation are called decimal numbers, simply decimals. The decimal 16.734 has three parts: decimal point, whole number part, and decimal part. Position of each digit in a number determines its place value. 100, 10, 1, and decimal point, and tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. Notice that the value of each place is 1/10 of the value of the place to its left. For example, 16.734, digit 3 is in the hundreds place. So its place value is 3 hundreds, or you can write 3/100. Writing or reading a decimal in words, write the whole number part first, then use and word, and then write decimal part in words. For example, write the decimal 153.056 in words. Whole number part is 143 and decimal part is 56,000. Writing decimals in standard form. A decimal written in words can be different in standard form. By reversing the procedure, write 106 and 500s in standard form. First, we write whole number part 106, then decimal point, and then 500s. And with that, we use 0 in tens place, and then we write 5 in hundreds place. When writing a decimal form, words to decimal notation, make sure the last digit is in the correct place so that setting zeros after the decimal point in this. For example, 3 and 54,000 is 3.054 and 4 is in thousands place. Writing decimals as fractions. Once you master writing and reading decimals correctly, then you write a decimal as a fraction using fractions associated with the words you use when written. 0.9 is read 9 tenths and written as a fraction as 9/10. For example, 0.21 is read as 21 hundredths and written as a fraction as 21/100. 0.011 is read as 11 thousandths and written as a fraction as 11/1000. For example, 0.37. Here we have two decimal places. So in fraction form, we write 2 zeros in 100. Another example is 0.029. Here we have three decimal places. So we write 3 zeros in 1000. Now, how to compare decimals? One way to compare decimals us is to compare their graphs on a number line. Before that, put any two numbers on a number line. The number to the left is smaller and the number to the right is larger. To compare 0.3 and 0.7, look at their graphs. 0.3 is here and we can write as 0.10 and 0.7 is here or we can write 7.10. Now 0.3 is on the left side of 0.7, so we can say that 0.3 is less than 0.7, or you can write 0.7 is greater than 0.2. Comparing decimals by comparing their graphs on the line can be time consuming, so we compare the size of decimals by comparing digits in corresponding places. For example, first number is 35.638 and 35.657. Here, after decimal point, tens place is same, 6 digit is that, and on hundreds place, digits are 3 and 5 respectively. So we know that 3 is less than 5, so first number is less than second number. For any decimal, writing zeros after the last digit to the right, as decimal point does not change the value of the number. 8.5 is equal to 8.50 is equal to 8.500 and so on. And the whole number is written as a decimal. The decimal point is placed to the right of the last digit. These four numbers are equal. Now, how to round off decimals? Round the decimal point of decimal number nearly the same way as we round whole numbers. The only difference is that we drop digits to the right of the rounding place instead of replacing these digits by zeros. For example, 63.782 rounded to the nearest hundreds is 63.78. Rounding decimals to a place value to the right of the decimal point. First step is locate the digit to the right of the given place value. Then after this digit is 5 or greater, add 1 to the digit to the given place value and drop all digits to the right. This digit is less than 5. Drop all the digits to the right of the given place. For example, round 326.4386 to the nearest 10. Tens place is 4. And next digit to the right is 3, which is less than 5. So we drop all these digits and the rounding of this number to the nearest 10 we get 326.4. Adding and subtracting decimals. Write the decimals so that the decimal points line up vertically. Add or subtract as for whole numbers. Place the decimal point in the sum or difference so that it lines up vertically with the decimal points in the round. Before that, zeros may be inserted to the right of the decimal point after the last digit without changing the value of the decimal. This may be used to help line up place values when adding or subtracting decimals. 85 minus 13.26 becomes 85.00. We have inserted 2 zeros after 85 to vertically align both these numbers. Minus 13.26 is equal to 71.74. Don't forget that the decimal point in the whole number is after the last digit. As Estimating operations on decimals. Estimating when adding decimals. So 23.8 plus 32.1 is equal to 55.9. We round off both these numbers, that we have 24 and 32. 24 plus 32 is equal to 56. And note that the number or the answer with decimal point is this number answer. When rounding to check a calculation, you may want to round the numbers to a place value of your choosing so that your estimates are easy to compute and evaluating with decimals. Evaluate x plus y for x is equal to 5.5 and y is equal to 2.8. Now we put the values of x and y here and we have 5.5 plus 0.8. The answer is 8.3. Now we multiply decimals. Multiplying decimals is similar to multiplying whole numbers. The difference is that we place a decimal point in the product. For example, 0.7 multiplied by 0.03 is equal to, we can write 0.7 as 7.10 and 0.03 as 0.5. And we multiply numerators first. 7 3s are 21 and then multiply denominators. 10 multiplied by 100 is equal to 1000. So we have the answer 0.021. And 0.7 we have one decimal place. In 0.03 we have two decimal places. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 decimal places, which we apply in the answer. So from right hand side, we count 3 decimal places, then we insert decimal point. Multiply decimals. Multiply the decimals as though they were whole numbers. The decimal point in the product is placed with the number of decimal places. The product is equal to the sum of the number of decimal places in factors. Estimating by multiplying decimals. 32.3 multiplied by 1.9 is equal to 61.37. Now we estimate 32.3 and 3 is less than 5, so we write 32 only. Then 1.9. 9 is greater than 5, so we write 2. 32 multiplied by 2 is equal to 64. And we have exact answer from decimal point, which is 61.37. Multiplying decimals by powers of 10. There are some patterns that occur when we multiply a number by power of 10, such as 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and so on. For example, 76.543 multiplied by 10. Here we have 1 0, so we move this decimal point to the right side one position. And 76.543 multiplied by 100. Here we have 2 zeros, so we insert or move decimal point to 2 digits right hand side. Then after 76.543 multiplied by 1, here we have 5 zeros, so we move decimal point to the right side 5 digits. So here we have only 3 digits after decimal point, so we have to insert 2 more zeros to make the answer. So here we have 7,654,300 points. Move the decimal point to the right the same number of places as there are zeros in the power of 10. Multiply 3.4305 by 100. Here we have 2 zeros. So we move decimal point to the right side 2 digits. So we have 323.05. Multiplying by powers of 10 such as 0.1, 0.01, 0.001, and so on. Multiply 8.57 by 0.01. Now we have decimal point. After 0 here, we have 2 decimal places, and we move this decimal point to the left side now by 2 positions. And we have the answer 0.085%. Next topic is dividing decimals. Division of decimal numbers is similar to division of whole numbers. The only difference is the placement of the decimal point in the quotient. If the divisor is a whole number, divide as 4 whole numbers, then place the decimal point in the quotient directly above the decimal point here. For example, 52.92 divided by 63 and 63 is 504. Then we have 25 to downside and 63 goes up 252. Now we have quotient 84, but in dividend we have 2 decimal places, so we use this decimal point from right hand side after the 2 digits, so it will be 0.84. If the divisor is not a full number, we need to move the decimal point to the right until the divisor is a whole number before we divide. Here we have decimal point, move the numbers, divisor and dividend. So we have moved this decimal point to 1 position right side. Now we have 63 and 529.2. 63 8 500, and now the remaining is 225 to downside, and we have 63 252. Now we have 1 decimal place in dividend, so we write the answer 8.4. Move the decimal point in the divisor to the right until the divisor is a whole number. Move the decimal point in the dividend to the right the same number of places as the decimal point whose moving second 90, and then place the decimal point in the quotient. Estimating by dividing decimals, 258.3 divided by 28. Now, move this decimal point 1 position to the right side, and we have 28 and 258 point. First we do division without decimal point. Then after, whatever we get the answer, we use decimal places as given in the division. By estimating 258.3, we have 300, and divide by estimating 2.8, we have 3. So 300 divided by 3 is equal to 100. So 92.25 is the answer. There are patterns that occur when dividing by powers of 10, such as 10, 100, 1000, and so on. For example, 156.2 divided by 10. So we move this decimal point to the left side by 1 position, because we have 1 0. Now, the next example, we have 1000 in division. So we move this decimal point to the left side by 3 positions. Dividing decimals by powers of 10 such as 10, 100, or 1000. Move the decimal point of the divider to the left the same number of places as there are zeros in the form of 10. For example, 463.7 divided by 100. So we can write as 100 with multiplication. Then after we move this two decimal places to the left side and we have 4.637. And by dividing by 100, we can show using reciprocal form. So the reciprocal form of 100 is 1 upon 100. So we will multiply by 1 upon 100. Then after we have 0.01 and now we move decimal point to the left side by 2 decimal places and we have now 4.637. Next topic is fractions as decimals. To write a fraction as a decimal, divide the numerator by the denominator. For example, 3 upon 4. Divide 3 by 4 and we have 0.75. Next example, 2 upon 5. Divide 2 by 5 and we have 0.0. To compare decimals and fractions, write the fraction as an equivalent decimal place. Compare 0.125 and 1 upon 4 and you can write 1 upon 4 in decimal point as 0.25. Therefore, here after decimal point we have 1 in one number and we have 2 in another number. So we know that 1 is less than 2. So 0.25 is less than 0.25. Thanks for watching my video and we will start exercise in my next video. Keep watching and please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon